I was in the middle of a pitch meeting when my phone buzzed. I glanced down and froze. A photo of me. Brunch last Sunday, sunny patio. The same navy blazer I wore to Brielle's graduation 3 years ago. The caption made my stomach drop. When your aunt's whole wardrobe is sale rack chic. Poverty aesthetic is a choice. And the kicker? She tagged me. My niece actually tagged me in the post. I scrolled down, 43 likes already, comments rolling in, people laughing. Someone wrote dead with 3 skull emojis. My sister had liked it. My own sister. I stared at that screen like I was reading a death certificate. Not mine, hers. The client across from me asked if everything was okay. I smiled, put my phone face down and finished the presentation. Landed the deal. Shook hands, walked out with my head high. Then I sat in my car for 10 minutes, hands gripping the steering wheel, reading that caption over and over again. Poverty aesthetic is a choice. She had no idea what she'd just done. My name is Frankie Tate. I'm 43 years old. I built a logistics startup for my kitchen table, scaled it to 12 states, and sold it for $28 million. I own my brownstone outright. No mortgage, no debt, no apologies. I wear repeat outfits because they're timeless and comfortable. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Brielle is my sister's daughter. She's 26. She lives in a penthouse she can't afford, wears designer clothes she didn't earn, and gets Botox every 3 months on someone else's dime. That someone is me. The trust fund she uses for designer bags, luxury trips, and expensive brunches, I started it, funded it, grew it. Out of guilt, out of love, out of a promise I made when she was 5 years old and her world fell apart. She doesn't know any of this. My sister doesn't talk about where the money comes from. It's easier to let Brielle think it's family money, generational wealth, old money. It's not. It's my money, my sacrifice, my silent gift. That ends today. I didn't text Brielle back. I didn't call my sister. I didn't post a response or leave a comment. I logged into the trust account. The screen loaded. There it was. Her pending request. $42,000, submitted 2 days ago. The label read, Educational Grant for Fashion Industry Immersion Program. I clicked on the attachment, a glossy PDF for some program in Milan. It looked official until you read the fine print. It was a pay-to-play scheme. Rich kids buying their way into a fake internship with a has-been designer. Not educational, not an investment, just another ego purchase. I clicked deny. The screen asked for confirmation. I clicked again, request denied. Then I opened a new folder on my computer. I titled it Documentation. I started taking screenshots. Bank statements. Withdrawal history. Her Instagram posts next to corresponding purchases. Every designer bag matched to a trust withdrawal within 48 hours. I worked methodically, calmly. This wasn't anger. This was clarity. That night, my phone lit up with notifications. The family group chat. I opened it. Screenshots of me. My outfits from family events over the past year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Every single one analyzed and mocked. Aunt Frankie's thrift core fashion is a whole mood, someone wrote. My sister responded, God bless her, she still shops like it's 2008. Brielle added 3 laughing emojis. My cousin chimed in, at least she's consistent. They were laughing at me, my own family, the people I'd helped, supported, loved. I read every message twice. Then I left the group chat. No comment, no explanation, no drama, just silence. But I didn't delete anything. I took screenshots of every single message, every cruel joke, every dismissive comment, timestamped, saved. I opened my documentation folder and added them to the file. Evidence. Timeline. Proof. I went to bed that night feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Free. 2 days later, I ran into Brielle at a boutique downtown. Pure coincidence. She was holding a $3,000 handbag, turning it under the light, admiring the stitching. She looked up and saw me. Her smile was sharp, cruel. Oh, hey, Aunt Frankie. She gestured toward the clearance rack in the corner. Don't worry, I'm sure they have something back there in your price range. The saleswoman looked uncomfortable. I smiled politely. Thanks, sweetie. I'm just browsing. Brielle laughed. She walked to the counter, handbag in hand, pulling out her credit card, the black one, the one linked to the trust. I watched her hand it over. She didn't know that card would decline, that the trust account had been frozen that morning, that the automatic transfers had been stopped. The card reader beeped. The saleswoman frowned. I'm sorry, it's not going through. Brielle's face went pale. Try it again. Another beep. Declined. I left the store before she could see me smile. Brielle called the bank from the boutique parking lot. I know because she posted about it later, deleting it within an hour. The banker was polite but firm. The trust has been legally closed at the donor's discretion. What donor? Brielle demanded. The account was established by an anonymous donor who has chosen to revoke access. That's impossible. It's family money. I'm sorry, miss. The donor has full legal authority. Who is the donor? I have a right to know. They've requested to remain anonymous. Brielle hung up. She tried calling my sister, then her father, then her grandmother. No one had answers, because no one knew it was me. I sat in my office, phone on silent, watching my email inbox. I knew the meltdown was coming, and I was ready. My sister called me that evening. Her voice was shaking, not sad, angry. Frankie, do you know what's happening? I kept my voice calm. What's wrong? Brielle's trust fund, it's frozen, closed, she can't access anything. Oh no, that's terrible. What happened? We don't know. The bank won't tell us anything. They said it was an anonymous donor. I paused, letting the silence stretch. Wait, I thought that was family money, inheritance from grandma. My sister went quiet. Isn't that what you told her? I pressed. I thought. You thought what? She exhaled sharply. Never mind, do you know anything about this? Why would I know anything? She hung up. I set my phone down and poured myself a glass of wine. The truth was starting to crack through. 3 days later, I received a text from my sister. Can we meet for brunch? Just the three of us. We need to talk. I knew what this was. An ambush. A probe. They wanted answers. I agreed. We met at a trendy spot downtown. Brielle wore sunglasses indoors. My sister kept tapping her wedding ring against her mimosa glass. Nervous habit. So, my sister started carefully, we wanted to talk about the trust situation. I sipped my coffee. Of course, how's Brielle holding up? Brielle's jaw clenched. She didn't answer. My sister continued, we're just trying to understand what happened. If you've heard anything, you know people in finance, right? A few, I said. They watched me, waiting. I said nothing. The check came. I pulled out cash, paid the full amount. Didn't ask them to split it. My sister stared at the bills I laid down. $300. Casual. Thanks for brunch, I said, standing. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I left them sitting there, confused and frustrated. I thought about that day a lot over the next week. The day I created the trust. Brielle was 5 years old. My sister had just been laid off. Her husband walked out a month later. She had no savings, no plan, just a kindergartner and a mountain of bills. I just landed my first major client. My startup was finally profitable. I had money for the first time in my life, so I set up a trust. $100,000 at first, then I added more each year as my company grew. No fanfare, no credit, no name on the paperwork, just a promise. I would always take care of her. I told my sister it was an anonymous benefactor, a charitable foundation. She believed me because it was easier than asking questions. Over 20 years, I put in almost $2 million. I did it out of love. But they turned my kindness into currency, my generosity into entitlement, and Brielle grew up thinking wealth was her birthright. A message appeared in my Instagram DMs from someone I didn't recognize. The profile was private. The message was long. Hi, Miss Tate. My name is Zoe. I went to college with Brielle. I saw what she posted about you. I thought you should know. She's been trashing you for years, saying you're jealous, bitter, that you leech off your family. Attached were screenshots. Dozens of them. Old group chats, private messages, posts from deleted accounts. Frankie's so pathetic. She dresses like a middle school teacher. My aunt acts like she's successful, but she's basically broke. She tries so hard to seem important. It's embarrassing. I read every single one. Not because I was shocked. I wasn't. I read them because I needed the dates, the timelines, the proof that this wasn't new. This was a pattern. I cross-referenced the messages with the trust withdrawals. The cruelest posts? They came right after the biggest payments. I saved everything. Brielle got invited onto a local influencer podcast. The host loved featuring young entrepreneurs and lifestyle creators. I listened to the episode while organizing files. The host asked, "So Brielle, you live this amazing life. How do you fund it?" Brielle laughed. "Honestly, I'm really lucky. I come from a family with money. Third-generation trust fund baby. Money's never been a problem in my family." Third generation, my hands stopped moving. She was claiming generational wealth, old money, a legacy. She was erasing me completely. I opened my email, drafted a message to the podcast host. Attached court documents, bank records, proof that the trust wasn't family money, it was mine. I included a notarized letter, signed and dated. Subject line, correction needed. I hit send. I sent an envelope to a popular gossip page that covered local influencers. Inside, bank receipts showing my deposits into the trust. Brielle's application for the fake Milan program. The Instagram post where she mocked me. A notarized letter from me, stating I was the original and sole donor. I included a note, "This might interest your readers, anonymous source." They posted it the next day. The headline, Influencers Trust Fund Exposed, Aunt was secret donor. They included everything, the screenshots, the timeline, the proof. Within hours, it was everywhere. Reddit threads, Twitter, TikTok commentary videos. People started digging, finding Brielle's old posts, comparing her lifestyle to her claims of being self-made. The internet did what it does best. It tore her apart. Brielle posted a video. She was crying, real tears, mascara running. "I've been sabotaged," she said, voice shaking. "People are spreading lies about me, digging into my private finances. I don't know who's doing this, but it's not true." The comments were brutal. "Rich girl got caught. Poverty aesthetic is karma. Maybe your aunt should have kept her money. Imagine mocking the person who funded your entire life." She deleted the video after 2 hours, but the internet never forgets. People had screen recorded it. It spread faster than the original post. Her follower count started dropping, fast. Brand partnerships disappeared from her bio. I watched it all unfold from my couch, laptop open, taking notes, not celebrating, just witnessing. My sister showed up at my door unannounced. She was crying, not because she was sorry, because Brielle had lost brand deals, because people were commenting on all their posts, because the truth was out. "You humiliated us," she said, voice shaking. I stood in my doorway, blocking her from coming in. "I humiliated you? This is all over the internet, Frankie. People are calling Brielle a fraud. They're saying horrible things. She posted that I was poor, that I shop at clearance racks. She tagged me, publicly mocked me." My sister's face twisted. "That was just a joke." "A joke?" I stepped closer. "You taught her that mocking the hand that fed her was funny. You let her believe she earned something she didn't. You lied to her for 20 years. I was protecting her. You were protecting yourself." She stared at me, tears streaming. I closed the door. The Milan fashion program sent Brielle an email. I know because she posted about it, then deleted it. "After careful review, we have decided to revoke your acceptance. Reason: misrepresentation of income source and background." Translation: she lied about who funded her lifestyle. She tried to fight it, sent emails, called their office. They blocked her. I read about it on a forum where someone had screenshot the email before she deleted it. That same day, I made a phone call. I contacted the program director, offered to fund a full scholarship for a student from a low-income background. A real student, someone talented who needed a chance. They accepted immediately. Her spot went to someone who deserved it. Brielle's influencer agent dropped her. The email was professional but clear. "We no longer feel this partnership aligns with our brand values." Translation: canceled. Rich girl energy doesn't sell. She tried to pivot, rebrand, posted about learning and growing, about taking accountability, but the internet doesn't forgive that fast. She sent me a DM. One word: why. I read it, didn't respond. I was at an awards ceremony, being honored for anonymous philanthropic contributions to women in business. The irony wasn't lost on me. There were still assets in the trust under Brielle's name. Legally hers, technically. But the structure allowed me to reclaim them under certain conditions. Misuse of funds, fraudulent claims, misrepresentation. I filed the paperwork. It took 2 weeks to process. The remaining funds, nearly $300,000, were rolled into a new donor-advised fund. The mission: supporting underprivileged girls pursuing careers in tech, design, and entrepreneurship. The tagline on the website: your past doesn't define your future, but your character does. I approved the final design. It launched quietly, no press, no announcement, just action. My sister went to the local newspaper. She gave an interview, called me a bitter spinster who wanted control, said I was jealous of Brielle's youth and success. The journalist reached out to me for comment. I sent one sentence. I hope she finds peace. I already have. They published both sides, but the comment section sided with me. Someone wrote, "Imagine biting the hand that fed you for 20 years. Another, "The aunt funded her entire life and got mocked for wearing the same blazer. That's disgusting." My sister's narrative crumbled. People saw through it. The designer brand Brielle worshipped, the one she posted about constantly, reached out to her for a partnership meeting. She thought it was her big break, her comeback. They told her no. Their exact words, according to someone who was there: "Your attitude toward women in business doesn't align with our values." They blocked her from future collaborations. 2 weeks later, that same brand reached out to me. They wanted me to consult for their new philanthropy arm, supporting women entrepreneurs. I accepted. The charity gala was black tie. I walked the red carpet. Photographers snapped photos. I wore the same navy blazer, the one from the Post, the one Brielle mocked. But this time, I paired it with custom Louboutin heels, a gift from the brand for my consulting work. My sister and Brielle were in the crowd. Guests, not honorees. They watched me walk past. I didn't acknowledge them. The flash of cameras, the applause. I smiled for the photos, not because I needed validation, but because I'd earned it. Brielle applied for financial assistance from a distant relative's family trust, a small fund set up by our great-aunt. She forged my signature on the application, listed me as a reference without asking. The fund administrator called me to verify. I told them I hadn't signed anything. It triggered a fraud investigation. My lawyer was already watching her. I'd warned him this might happen. He filed the necessary reports. Quietly, efficiently. I didn't sue for defamation. I could have. The Post, the group chat, the podcast. I sued for fraudulent use of donor identity. She'd claimed the trust was family money. Generational wealth. She'd used that lie to secure opportunities, partnerships, credibility. My lawyer was brilliant. The case was airtight. Brielle's lawyer tried to settle. I said no, because justice isn't a payout, it's proof. Proof that I was right to walk away. A major business publication reached out. They wanted to profile me. I'd avoided press for years, but this time I agreed. I sat down for the interview, told them everything: the trust, the betrayal, the silence. How being mocked for not flaunting wealth was the greatest freedom I never asked for. The article went viral. Responses poured in. Women thanked me for speaking up. Entrepreneurs shared similar stories. Brielle's name was mentioned, but only as context. The story wasn't about her. It was about me. Finally, I didn't attend the final court hearing. I didn't need to. My lawyer handled everything. I sent the judge one note, delivered through my attorney. Let her learn what it's like to earn something on her own. That was my goodbye. The case was settled. Brielle was ordered to pay restitution for fraudulent claims. She posted an apology. Generic. Forced. I didn't read it. I was done. A charity auction reached out. They wanted something meaningful to auction for their gala. I donated the blazer, the infamous one. From the Post, it raised $14,600. The money went to a nonprofit, helping girls from low-income families study fashion and design. The winning bidder? The designer brand that had blocked Brielle. They displayed it in their flagship store with a plaque, "Dignity over Designer." As for me, I walked into a new chapter, one that couldn't be tagged, mocked, or measured by Instagram likes. Just quiet, earned dignity. And that was worth more than any trust fund ever could be.